Hello everyone, I am Erika of BEADIngschool.com and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly beading workshop to make sure that every beader all around the world has company. Please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. I see Louisa. Good morning, Louisa. Teresa is here and Teresa says that she can hear me and see me, so that's wonderful. Louisa can hear me and see me too. And Sarah is here, and Katie is here, and Kata is here, and Cindy is here, and Jessica, and Sandra, and Kristen, and Debbie, and Antoinette, and Ariane, and all together for now, 26 beaders watching from the Beading School Club and from the Beading School Facebook page. 27. And Malka, and Joanna, Margaret, Elena, Cheryl, Jeannie, and Lita are here too. So today we are going to bead the sounds earrings. So the basic motif that we are going to start with, it's actually the same as we beaded last week in the bracelet version. Or sorry, 2 weeks ago in the bracelet version, as last week I was abroad and we couldn't have an No One Has to Bead Alone workshop, but we will now develop it further. And there is even a matching necklace, a tutorial that is the first signature jewel for the students of the Beading School Academy. It's already available in the Beading School bead shop, and if you are one of our students, then if you log in, then you can download it for free. So I'm beading everything in matching colors. In my box, I had enough for my Beading School Academy box. I had enough for my necklace, and I still have enough for my earrings, and I need to add a few to finish my bracelet. And let's see what you wrote in the meanwhile. Corinne is here, and Alicia is here, and Eileen, and Christine, and Gunel, and Marianne. Katy is waiting for her box. And she will bead now something else while watching and listening. Catching up is also nice, or beading something nice as we all get inspired from all kinds of different jewels and designers and so on. Ariane wanted to say hello. Oh, enjoy the match later. Margaret waiting for her box. Anne is here. And Ariane is already working on the pendant. So let's see, what do we need for today's jewel. In the meanwhile, don't forget to download the printable file that makes it easier for you to follow the workshop. It's available at no-one-has-to-bead-alone.com as always, and it comes in 2 versions. You can either download it for free and then accept it, please, as my gift, my helping hand to you, or you can buy it for a small amount to support the broadcast. The free version is available for 3 days only, so make sure to download and save it to your computer. And in any case, I would really appreciate it if you decided to share this broadcast, to tell your beading friends about Beading School, to show them your jewels, to use the hashtag No One Has to Bead Alone on Facebook and Instagram to spread the word about what's happening here. Thank you so much for doing that. And Martha joined us in the meanwhile, and Terry also, who is also waiting for her box. I hope that it lands on your bead mat very soon. So, and while you are, and Nicolene, hi Nicolene. So while you are downloading the printable file from no-one-has-to-bead-alone.com, let's see, what do you need for today's earrings. You know what? I was already wearing the half pair of earrings that I have for now. Yesterday, even if it's only one piece. Oh, I have already other earrings. I don't need three. Also, I have 3 holes in my 2 ears altogether, but one is not much in use. So 3 earrings are not very necessary. I wanted to I will put on the half pair and then I can put on the other one later today. But yeah. Okay. I was focusing on beads, not on jewels. Okay, Erika, get back to your bead mat. And let's tell the beaders finally that what do they need. So, this is the earring. We will work in circles around and around. And as you can see, the earring consists of 3 parts. This is the main part, what we are going to work on today together. So in the middle, I have a 3 times 4 millimeter mushroom bead, and it's a little cutie. I have it in the color Alabaster Green Picasso. And I know that this can be rare. Maybe you don't have it yet. So in case if you don't have it, but your box is on its way, then don't worry, you can add it later. Just make sure to hold the first circle of SUPERDUOs tight, and then you can add the mushroom bead later. Or if you want to bead it without the mushroom bead, then you can add anything else sparkly in the middle, or not sparkly. You can also add an ordinary round pressed bead, or you can attach, for example, a 4 millimeter swan rhinestone. That would be super pretty. And then you also need SUPERDUO beads, one of my favorites, but I have to confess that for a while I was neglecting SUPERDUOs. I was playing a lot with gem duos and vexillos and so on, and it feels good to be back to this classic. Wow, saying classic about the 2-hole beads makes me feel like ancient, because I still remember when it appeared in the beading world, and we were all like, oh my god, a bead with 2 holes. And now there are so many. So mushroom SUPERDUOs, 3 millimeter round beads. Those are the little pink ones. I really like the color. I hope you like it too. And then again, another circle of SUPERDUOs, and then 4 millimeter fire polish beads. From the seed beads, you will need MIYUKI DELICA size 11s. I used 2 different colors. It's up to you if you would like to use 1 color, 2 colors, or maybe even more. And there are also size 15 MIYUKI round seed beads included in the main motif, in the bezel, and also under the fire polished bead. So this was the main part. I like long earrings, and I added a square stitch bezeled PRECIOSA chaton in the color light topaz. The square stitch bezel tutorial is available as a gift in the Beadingschool bead shop. Between the free tutorials, there is a bunch of them, and also on the blog. So that's on top of the motif, of course, with an earring hook. And then at the bottom of the motif, I have a 9 times 20 millimeter long fire polished drop bead. For quite some time, I thought that there are only round shaped fire polished beads, but there are also, in fact, drop shapes available. This long one that I have used in this, and there are also tinier ones like the 5 times 7 millimeter parachute here. So That's up to you. These parts are up to you. That how would you like to decorate the main motif. In the meanwhile, Elena joined us, and Katarina, Irina, Sherry is here. Kristen says, happy Friday, everyone. Enjoy teaching, Kristen. And Ula is here. Oh, Margaret likes the Picasso colors. Me too. Picassos are great. Sunshine. Sunshine just received her box and another beading school package. Enjoy. And Teresa says, I think this is the smallest mushroom bead I have ever beaded with. Yes, I got my box. Wonderful. And indeed, as Teresa says, there are different sizes of mushroom beads. If I remember well, then 3 different sizes. I have also worked with a bigger one, around 7-8 millimeter in the past, in the mantra bracelet that's also available at Beading School. But that was a one-time occasion, and I really fall in love with the small ones. Yeah, Teresa says, the neglected eldest child, the super duos. And Deborah is here too. So, if you have everything prepared, then let's get started. Let me know if you have any questions about the material. I would love to answer everything before we start beading. In the meanwhile, I would also like to mention that we have a 19% special deal available during this week for all fire polished beads. So if you would like to stock up from the round shaped fire polished beads that we use like all the time in nearly every design, or if you would like to add to your stash some of these drop shaped fire polished beads, then you can do that for a super nice price until next week's Coffee Time with Erika. That's Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central European Time. You don't need a code. Bead shopping is comfortable at Beading School. And we even have some bead bundles available. That means that in one package you receive several different colors, and the bundle discount and the special deal discount all add up. So that's the best that you can do if you would like to have some new fire polished beads. And Teresa says she's ready. Maria is sending some hearts. Hi, Maria. So let's start beading. Can you please let me know if you can still hear me? I switched my microphone in the meanwhile, so please let me know if it still works well. I will in the meanwhile grab my needle, and I have prepared my diagrams. Okay, Terry and Margareta say that they can hear me, so let's start beading. We will start with 8 pieces of SUPERDUO beads. And when you are picking up your 8 SUPERDUO beads, then I really recommend to take a quick look at the second hole of the SUPERDUOs. I like to do that with all my two-hole beads, because sometimes there is a tiny residue of glass remaining in the second hole. And yeah, that can be a problem when you get to that part that you are beading through the second hole. Sometimes you can even like push it out with the tip of your needle, but actually I don't recommend doing that, because there can still be a little piece of sharp glass remaining in the bead, and later it can damage your thread. So once you have the 8 super duos on your thread, you can bead through all of them one more time. It means that when you pull your thread, then the beads will be joined into a circle. And I also like to bead through the very first bead for a third time, because then I can pull the tail thread really well, and my thread tension will get right. Just a little quick check to make sure that I have 8 beads, because sometimes I don't count well when I'm trying to talk and read at the same time. I think it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that was the first step, and let's see what are, oh, okay, other way. So what are we going to do in the second step? So now we are adding the mushroom bead in the middle. So mushroom bead or swan rhinestone or anything else that you would like to have in the middle of your motif. So exiting still the inside hole of the very first SUPERDUO bead, I pick up a little mushroom, and then I bead through the inside hole, the first hole of the SUPERDUO bead, exactly opposite of the one that I am exiting. So there will be 3 and 3 beads between the two on both sides. I bead back through the mushroom, and I finish by beading through the first SUPERDUO that I started out from. And at this point, I would recommend to bead all around the SUPERDUO beads one more time, still first holes, until my tail and my working end of the thread meet. I will tie a knot at this point. I rarely tie knots, but when I'm working with bigger beads, that means that also bigger holes, then I like to tie knots to like have a good grip with my thread and to keep proper thread tension. So now, as you can see, my tail and my working end meet at the same place. So now I will tie actually 2 little knots to fix my thread. So this is it, and I will just leave the tail for now, and I will take care of it at the very end. And thank you, Cheryl, for making me feel good about my counting. Cheryl says that she's the same, that she needs to like double count and really make sure. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it. And now, after my knot, I bead through both holes of a SUPERDUO, and by this little U-turn, I turn into the opposite direction, and while I was working counterclockwise until now, I will be working for a while clockwise. And Margaret says, be careful, Erika, that you don't get out of the frame, please. I'm doing my best, Margaret. Thank you for reminding me about that. It's actually super challenging because I can move only with only like a few centimeters with my hand. to make sure that you see it. So I always try to rest my left hand on the bead mat and move only with my right hand. But sometimes when my thread gets tangled or I need to pull something, then it's easy to forget about that and lift my left hand. Okay, that's just a bit of background info. The challenges of broadcasting. So, step 3. I am now adding the little nice 3mm round purse between the second holes of the SUPERDUOs, the second still open holes of the SUPERDUOs. Now the magic number is 8. When we are working with symmetric motifs, especially circular ones, then there is always a magic number. And the magic number for me, it's always like, how many repetitions do I need to make? How many beads or how many groups of beads do I need in that specific circle, in that specific step? So now the magic number is 8. And I am adding 8 pieces of 3mm round pearls. Sorry. My pronunciation is ridiculous sometimes. It's funny how it affects me that if I'm talking a lot of Hungarian or Slovak, then my English pronunciation or grammar or vocabulary gets immediately affected by it. And when I'm between English-speaking friends or I read an English book, then I immediately feel like, oh my God, my vocabulary is expanding. Maybe you guys don't notice it, but it's just a feeling that maybe words come easier to me. So I am finishing step 3 by continuing until I am exiting the second pearl that I have added. You probably know by now that I don't like to start a new step right away after the first bead that I have added. So I like to move until I am exiting at least the second one. And how are you doing with your little motifs at the moment, ladies? Please let me know. I will, in the meanwhile, switch to my 4th picture, showing you the next step. I can put aside my little mushroom beads. Veronka was really laughing about this when she learned about the new theme inspired by the hippie trail and the 60s and the 70s. And she was like, wow, the mushroom beads, those are like such a nice touch in the hippie box. And I'm like, okay, that was a coincidence, Veronka. But she's right. Okay, for Teresa, the little motif is getting bigger. Lita is already on step 6. Wonderful. Margaret is not beading this yet. Terry is doing well. Jeannie is doing great. Wonderful, ladies. So now we are going to work with seed beads, with DELICAs and size 15 seed beads at the same time. So I will add groups of DELICA round 15 and DELICA between the 3mm round pearls. Pulling my thread tight and then doing the same over and over again. DELICA round 15 DELICA and beading through the next 3mm round pearl. And now I got to the yellow beads, and I will also hang a yellow drop at the bottom. And I wanted to tell you that I was actually hesitating if I am brave enough to put the yellow beads in the new Beading School Academy theme box. There are many colors included, as I wanted to create a collection that brings together my happy colors and brings that happy, transfers hopefully that happy mood to your bead mats too. But I was a bit hesitant when I was thinking about the yellow beads, as they can be pretty dividing. And indeed, when we were doing the unboxing together, well, I was unboxing and you were with me during the live video, then indeed some of you said that you feel challenged by working with yellow beads. But I have to say that I am really happy to read about your spirit, that many of you say that, okay, even if this is outside of my comfort zone, maybe it feels nice to be challenged. It feels nice to try something new. And I love your thoughts about that, because indeed, moving out of our comfort zones, that can bring something new that we learn. Maybe we will start to like yellow, maybe not, but definitely we will be richer by a new experience at the end. So thank you so much for being brave and trying colors that you have never tried maybe before. And in the meanwhile, I'm finishing step 4, and I will finish it by exiting a 3mm round pearl. In the meanwhile, Yul says, I love this model. Most of the time I can't follow the live because I'm working, but today I can. Oh my god, that's so nice to read, Yul. Yul or you? Please let me know if my first or second pronunciation was closer to what it should be, and welcome. And everyone, please say hi to Yul or you. And where are you from? And Cyril says, I have not heard of the mushroom beads before, so I am very happy to try them. And another novelty. That's so nice. That's so nice that you are trying a new bead shape too. And hi, Facebook user friend. Don't worry, I don't know who are you. I don't know who is late today. Miriam, is that you maybe? I don't want to accuse anyone. I just thought because of the the little monkey, because she's using the monkeys sometimes. And hi, Chantal. And Therese says, I have been infected by Catalin's love of yellow now. So, in step 5, and hi, Katja! Good to see you. In step 5, I will be repeating the thread path. However, I will skip beading through the round 15s. And this not only makes the center part of the motif sturdier, but also makes these little V's, the 3 beads, the DELICA round 15 DELICA, they look like a little V shape. The V shape will get also nicer and pointier if we repeat the thread pass and skip the middle bead. You can do this part in 2 ways actually. That's up to you. And always when it comes to a step like this in a beading pattern, then you can try what works better for you. So you can either add the 3 beads all together right away and then repeat the thread pass while skipping the middle one, or you can add in the first circle, in this case it would be like 2 delicas, and then repeat the thread pass and add the round 15s in the middle in between the 2 delicas. I will be sneezing. Sorry, still my sorry. Last time I was also sneezing, and still my allergies are troubling me. So it's not that bad, but yeah. Of course, I have to sneeze during the video. And hi, Orit. Thank you, Margareta. And thank you, Cheryl. And we had a super good question in the club about beads in this position. Unfortunately, I don't remember who asked the question. I think it was Marta, maybe. The question was that if you want to connect motifs to each other through the round 15s that are on the edge, then if it is enough to bead through the round 15s once. And I wanted to bring this up because I think it can be helpful on all our beading journeys for everyone. So when you are connecting motifs, then I recommend beading through the connecting parts at least twice. Also, when I'm doing bracelets, then I like repeating the thread passes. But also, for example, when I am adding bezeled cabochons like this, or when I am adding a drop at the bottom, then always I repeat the thread pass at least once. Not even because like tearing apart or something, the possibility of tearing apart, for example, a bracelet, because I trust my FIRELINE. If I was working with an undamaged piece of FIRELINE, then it never happened to me that it would tear apart. But what happened to me that after a while there was like a, for example, like a millimeter big distance between the beads at connections, and that's not nice. So I recommend repeating thread passes. And in the meanwhile, Cynthia joined us, and Jules. Ah, okay. Jules from the Netherlands. Welkom, Jules. Het is echt leuk om je te zien. Ik ben ook in de Nederlands. Ik woon in Amsterdam. Maar ik ben niet een Nederlander. Oh, so, Jules. So, Jules is also from the Netherlands. I'm also living here. I'm not a Dutch person, so my Dutch pronunciation is even more ridiculous than my English one, but I don't care, and I love speaking languages. My Slovak pronunciation is also ridiculous, as Zuzi, who just joined us, can confirm it, but I just don't care. I like talking to people in all kinds of languages and making connections and getting to know each other. So that's it. And Betty's here in the meanwhile too. And Teresa says, we have a Zeeland in Michigan too. I didn't know that, Teresa, that actually the Dutch Zeeland is the one that gave the name New Zealand to Louisa's and Faye's country. So we have the original Zealand. Okay, and I am now doing circles. And do you think that I beaded finally all around? I think so. I was not counting. So I hope I can move on now to the to the next step. So step 6, more SUPERDUOs and more yellow DELICA beads. That's good. I like the yellow shade of this very, very, very much. So I will start this step from around 15, seed bead, nesting in between the two DELICA beads. And I will fix the SUPERDUO beads in a different position. So it's super easy to use the SUPERDUOs when you are just beading through one hole and then moving up to the next one. But here I wanted to turn them to the side to give a little bit of accent in the shape of the motif. So starting out from around 15, I pick up a DELICA and I pick up a SUPERDUO. And here, no checking is necessarily for the second hole because I already would find out if something is wrong, as I am beading back right away through the second hole of the SUPERDUO. And then I finish off the sequence by picking up one more DELICA and beading through the next round 15. I like to adjust my beads in this position a little bit to make sure that they look nice, and then I do it 7 more times until I have beaded all around my motif. So exiting around 15, I pick up a DELICA and I pick up a SUPERDUO. I let them fall where they are supposed to go, and I bead back through the open hole of the SUPERDUO, and I finish off the sequence by picking up the other DELICA and beading through the next round 15. So this is how it will look like, and I will bead all around. And you will say Amsterdam is a great city. Indeed. I will love it. So many cities in the Netherlands. Like, we travel a lot, we bike a lot. Actually, I have never been to Zeeland. That's, I think, the only province that I have never visited. But there are many, many places that we have visited on our bikes during the past 7 years that I live here. And there are many, many beautiful cities. Belinda likes my accent. Thank you so much, Belinda. And, you know, until I am understandable and we can get each other, then all is good in any kind of language. And Teresa says, lots of Dutch settled in Michigan back in the day. Remember, we have a city named Holland too. Oh, indeed, that's also where Vania is living, like nearby. She was mentioning the Dutch settlers and community in the area. And Marta says, also the Dutch settled in New York City and upstate New York, where I am from. Indeed. And for a while, at the beginning, New York was actually called New Amsterdam. So such a small nation, but went a long way. And as Margareta says, now I can count the magic 8, indeed like 8 super duos, 8 repetitions of adding DELICA beads and super duo beads. And Sherry likes the colors of the team. I'm so happy about that, Sherry. Bit of sunshine, bit of flowers, and all my favorites. And Cynthia says, I'm originally from Michigan. In Holland, Michigan, they have a huge tulip festival too. That is so cool. And we often have Canadian beaders here too. And in fact, there is a tulip festival in Canada too. That was started when, after the Second World War, the Dutch Queen gifted 100,000 tulip bulbs to Canada to thank them for sheltering the princess during the years of the war. Oh, and now I found a super duo that has a clogged second hole. So I will right away get rid of it. I'm using another one. And ladies, tell me, are you working with the colors of the theme, or is somebody maybe choosing different colors for her sounds, earrings? During this theme, by the way, all my jewels have names after songs from the 60s and the 70s, and usually only partial titles of the songs, not whole titles. So can you guess which song am I referring to with this sounds set? Some of you already got it in a comment. We were talking about it. So I'm curious. And here I am. The middle of my motif looks like this now. And actually, this is also a nice version that can be combined maybe also with the smaller motifs if you would like to make different kinds of bracelets or necklaces. And Ginny says, we have a tulip festival in Pella, Iowa. There is always a line to the bakery for the Dutch letters they bake. That is so cool. And Terry says, my box is not here, so using my own colors. What kind of colors are you using, Terry? Oil says, Zealand is lovely for the bicycle. Oh, I would love to explore it. The peninsulas, islands, the dam will be coming. Cheryl says, slight variation and currently deciding whether to do an Erika and have one earring or turn it into a pendant as I want to add the tassel. I'm curious, where will you end up with it, Cheryl? And Martha says, sounds of silence. Terry also says, Simon and Garfunkel, sounds of silence. Alicia says, sounds of silence. Indeed, that's it. A very nice song, I think. And Lita says she's using Metallist and Turquoise and Matte Gold and Muscat Rose Gold Delicas. Oh, I'm curious to see that. Alicia is using the box colors. Joanna is here. Oh, we are also happy to have you here. Belinda is waiting. Terry is using green and blue. Gunel She says, I have chosen crystal clear superduos and silver tones, fire polished dark lilac and pink and lilac and silver delicas. I'm very curious of that, Gunal. I feel challenged by silver lined and transparent crystal beads, so I really admire beaders who can work well with them. And Joanna will make a pair of these for her coworker's birthday. Oh, that's so cute. And now I will be adding picos over the SUPERDUOs. So I bead through a DELICA bead and the first hole of a SUPERDUO, and then I pick up. I'm now switching to my turquoise round 15s. I pick up a round 15. I pick up 2 MIYUKI delicas and another turquoise round 15. And with this sequence, with this group of 4 seed beads on my needle, I bead through the second hole of the SUPERDUO that I am exiting at the moment, and I continue through the DELICA that is between the SUPERDUO and the round 15. I do not bead through the round 15 this time. Instead, I pull my thread, I arrange the beads in a nice way, and right away I bead through the DELICA and the first hole of the next SUPERDUO. When I pull my thread, then the 2 delicas will like slightly touch each other over the round 15. So for me, it looks a little bit neater, tighter. And now, magic 8. I will do this 8 times all together, 7 more. So round 15, DELICA, DELICA, round 15, and beading through the second hole of the SUPERDUO. The DELICA, and then getting in position for adding more beads by beading through the next DELICA and first hole of SUPERDUO. I keep tight thread tension, and you might be noticing that the motif will be slightly dome shaped, so don't try to flatten it, please. In the meanwhile, oh, someone is thinking of the House of the Rising Sun. Indeed, that's a lovely one. That's one of the very few songs that I can play in my guitar. There are like 3. Even if I like really wanted to play the guitar again, and I started to exercise again during the pandemics, but I have the feeling that I have to like perfect one song before I move on to the next one, and I didn't get far with that. But House of the Rising Sun, that I can do. Not with audience. I will never play it. But yeah, to myself, that feels also good sometimes. Gunnar is working, by the way, with the Milky Amethyst, and Kata is working with the same colors as the bracelet was: metallized yellow, gold, olive, bronze with a hint of red. Kata always has super special color combinations, and it's so good to see you beading again. And actually, today I was looking back at many of our pictures together with Kata, and also many of the beaders from the Swedish beading gang in the Beading School Club, because it's exactly 3 years since I was visiting you in Stockholm for the Swedish bead along. And I just had to go through all the pictures Look at them. I have many pictures of jewels that you have created. I have many pictures together with you, also about the nature around Stockholm, and also pictures that I took while sightseeing with Kata. So thank you so much for that special time. It was super nice. And Joanna says, I'm using fall colors as the temperatures are getting cooler these days, and it just seemed like a good idea. I agree, Joanna. I agree. The warm tones, the warm tones warm us up. That sounds a bit simple, but that's the feeling that I'm getting when working with like reds and browns and yellows and oranges. Like I'm thinking of a fireplace. Oh, and Cindy's working on her sounds pendant already. Cindy, that's wonderful. Facebook friend waiting for the box, so she's doing it in dark blue and pastel pink. Oh, Terry was also playing the guitar. And Kata indeed says, oh my god, it was 3 years ago. It's crazy how time flies. Oh, I don't want to, I don't want to believe that it was like 3 years ago. Especially like these past years with so many things happening. It really went super fast. Kata, I would love to come back with you guys again and go to the forest and pick mushrooms. We went with Anna to pick mushrooms, did not succeed very much. I think we were talking too much and did not really look at the ground. And you also need to come to Amsterdam. You nearly came just before the pandemics. And Belinda says, I have several recordings of House of the Rising Sun that predate the Animals version and Old Blues tune until the Animals patented it. Oh wow, I thought that that the Animals were the first ones to play it, actually, that it's their song. Thank you for the info, Belinda. I didn't know that. And hi, Brit Marie. Nice that you went for a walk. Anne is working with black, white, and silver. Oh, I would love to go back. Maria, Gunel, Brit Marie, everyone. We spent 5 days together. About 120 very dedicated beaders in a super nice hotel that Kerstin Collin chose for us. She's the organizer of the Swedish Bead Along. And we were beading like from morning to evening. There was a super nice steady supply of coffee and ice cream that definitely keeps beaders going, and workshops and challenges, and like what was super fun, that there were 2 big rooms where we were spending time for like bead gatherings and just like casual beading, and you could go to those rooms like anytime during the day, like 5 a.m. or past midnight, and there were always beaders working, and that whom you could join. And Ginny says, so glad so many of you are musical. I tried to play the piano many times, have concluded not a musical bone in my body. Ginny, like I know that there are many musical people in the group. Like Miriam is playing an instrument. Nancy Pikulik is playing an instrument. But I'm playing an instrument, but I'm not musical. There's a difference. I like playing the guitar, but I'm not good at it. I have to admit, it's just fun. And hi, Linda. And Irina says, my earrings is really flower power, way out of my comfort zone. Yellow, fuchsia, turquoise, green. Let's see what comes out. But I love how there is in one sentence the blingy-eyed emoji, the star-eyed emoji, and the out of your comfort zone. Must feel good. And hi, Linda. And Sarah says she loved the bead along. And okay, ladies, I need to go to step 8 and then I will get back to the comments. So now I am adding a Delica bead in between the two yellows. So now I'm exiting the first yellow Delica. I picked up a green one. And now I bead through the second Delica and around 15, but instead of continuing to the SUPERDUO, I pick up a 4mm fire polished bead and I bead outwards through around 15 and the Delica. And now I can continue in the same way. So I pick up a Delica in a slightly accenting color. I bead through a Delica and round 15, and then I add a 4mm fire polished bead in between the two round 15s. So this is how I bead all around. And oh, Ginny's dog is misbehaving. I hope she's okay. And Joanna says, isn't there a picture you shared from that trip where you were doing a handstand while walking through the forest? Maybe I'm thinking of some other photo you shared. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. We were with Anna Lindell in the forest. I actually shared those handstand pictures and also other pictures from the bead along today on my Instagram and Facebook stories. So yeah, Anna was laughing at me that, okay, you were beading for 5 days. You were teaching 7 classes in 3 days. You were in the city with Kata for a long day, wanting to see everything in Stockholm. And now this is how you relax. And yeah, handstands are cool. They make you focus. Oh, and Sarah says, I don't think I beaded that much, mostly talking, shopping, and eating. Actually, that's true. Like, I did not have a finished jewel from the bead along, but it felt like lots of sitting at the beading table. But in fact, it was more about like spending time together and yeah, shopping, drinking coffee, and trying the delicious bonbons from Ingela. And I know that many beaders were participating in mini challenges. I really admired them for having the energy. And Cheryl says, I loved joining the online Swedish bead along, such a lovely bunch of people. I would love to go in person one day. And indeed, during the first year of the pandemic, Kerstin, she did this amazing step and she organized the bead along online. And that must have been an enormous task. And I really admire Kerstin for doing that. And it was super fun because beaders from all around the world, and I know that many, many, many beading school beaders joined the Swedish gang to bead together. And that was super nice also. And indeed, as Cheryl says, like a really, really, really friendly and welcoming environment. Ooh, and Brit Marie is mentioning the evening with cocktails. Indeed, last day at the bar having cocktails, that was also super nice. Oh, I even loved the bartender. I was clumsy by the end of the day, and I spilled a little bit from my cocktail. He noticed it, but it was like really not much. I did not care about it, and anyway, it was like my fault. And he was like, "Oh, I will make a new one for you." And that's what he did, even if I insisted that, like, you don't have to, it's my fault, and it's just a little bit. But he was super nice. Even the environment that Kerstin chose, it was just perfect. And in the meanwhile, Belinda has to go. Bye, Belinda. And Linda says, "Hi, Erika. I used to play piano for many years while a teenager, but I haven't played for a long time. I went to high school of performing arts in New York, like fame." Oh my God, Linda. That's amazing. Wow. One day we should organize a beading school musical event, and or musical members, not me, but Linda and Miriam or Nancy could maybe play for us. Oh my God, that must be that. What do you think, ladies? Linda, would you be up to it? Or Miriam, Nancy, if you ladies are here, or anyone who can play an instrument, what do you think about this? Like, would you be willing to, like, we would have a closed Zoom meeting just for the club, and everyone who would want to, like, play or recite or do something for the club could, like, have an act? It would be super nice, I think. Terry would love that. Oh, Marta loves the dome shape of the motif. I'm happy about that, Marta. I think that even if you like bigger bracelets, like the matching bracelet is pretty thin, but if you like bigger bracelets, then a bracelet from the big motifs can also be very nice. And Nita says, "Hi, Nita. Beading School Talent Show." Indeed. Nita says, yeah. And Jana says, "That would be fantastic." Cynthia, "That would be beautiful for a musical evening." I am not musical either, but that would be beautiful. Linda says, "I cannot play, but I would love to hear them." Cynthia also likes the dome shape. Okay, Gunnar can recitate. Susie has to go now. Thank you, dear Susie. Also, it was nice that you could join. Take a good rest during the weekend and see you on Monday, Susie. Sherry says she's good at uploading. Katarina says, "The motif is too big for me for an earring, but it is wonderful for a pendant or a bracelet. It is super versatile, so you can do anything with it that you would like to." Ginny would also be in the audience. So in the meanwhile, I finished the main part of my motif. And just a sec. Erika is back. So what I'm going to do after the video, I'm going to attach my square stitch bezeled cabochon and then the drop at the opposite end. You can download the square stitch bezel tutorial, don't forget. And if you will have any questions, then please let me know so I can answer and help you right away, or afterwards you can post it in the Beading School Club, and we will be there to help you. In the meanwhile, Yul says, you need also people to listen to the music. I will be one of those people. And bye, Brit Marie. And Lita also says, I don't wear earrings, but I think it will be perfect as the centerpiece of the Sounds bracelet. That's also a possibility. And Nita says, I love this motif. Durga Puja is coming up soon and I'm trying to plan jewelry, my mother and my saris, and this might make a perfect set of earrings for that. Thank you for showing us this. Dear Nita, I'm so happy that this will be like part of the special celebration, and enjoy it very much. And actually, I love seeing the jewels worn with saris. We have like, so nice, we have like quite a big bunch of ladies with an Indian background, either living in India or in different countries around the world, but coming from India. And many times I hear that the jewels look great with saris. So if you can then take a picture of yourself and maybe show it to us in the club, that would be wonderful. And happy celebrating the Durga Puja. And if you don't have any questions, ladies, then I would like to thank you. And thanks, Joanna. So I would like to thank you for today's really fun evening. It was nice to talk about the memories from the Swedish bead along, and let's make the talent show happen. That would be super nice, maybe before Christmas. Louisa's going back to sleep. Good night in New Zealand. And just one important information, that I already have the theme for you for next week's No One Has to Bead Alone. So we are going to bead Susie's Joan motif that can be turned either into a pair of earrings, into a little pendant, into a bracelet. It's up to you. It can also be combined with other kinds of motifs. So next week at the same time, we see each other for the Joan. You will need, for one motif, 6 pieces of SUPERDUO beads, 6 pieces of round drop duos, and you will need size 15 and size 11 round seed beads. And the rest, it's up to you. I ran out of my light topaz PRECIOSA chatons. I used already my long fire polished beads, so I will be using some other extra embellishments, but that can be easily personalized. So if you are still waiting for your box like Terry, then please make sure to follow the tracking. You always get the tracking number from us when your box is out of the treasury, so you can check day by day that where is it. And if you need any help from us, then make sure to contact us at info@beadingschool.com. Thank you so much for today, ladies. Have a nice weekend. Take care. Happy beading. And make sure to show each other all the different variations that you were beading today. Have a nice weekend. Bye-bye.